Listening to the City World Radio Network, high-definition digital radio broadcasting from the city to the world. www.cityworldradio.com.
To her boyfriend, fare thee well. As Columbus announced when he knew he was bounced, it was swell, Isabel, swell. As Abelard said to Eloise, don't forget to drop a line to me, please. as Juliet cried into Romeo's ear. Romeo, why not face the fact, my dear? It was just one of those things, just one of those crazy flings, one of those bells that now and then ring, just one of those things. It was
for Ella, Mella, or Mom. Throw 'em down, I'm going back where I came from. To the beach, he draws the air company. Goodbye, everybody, goodbye.
I make you smile. It's cool, but you don't even know me. You take an inch, I run a mile. Can't win, you're always right behind me. And we know that you could go and find some other. Take or leave it, or just don't even bother. Caught in a craze, is just a phase. Or will this be around forever? Don't you know it's going too fast?
And I wish that I could find a key to unlock all the things you want us to be. Let me open up and start again. But there's a secret around my heart. I don't know how to let you in. That's what keeps us apart. And that's why I need time. I said I need you. I need you to understand.
Dreams are nothing more than wishes, and a wish is just a dream you wish to come true. If only I could have a puppet, I'd call myself so very lucky. Just to have some company, to share a cup of tea with me. I'd take my puppy everywhere. La 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 la, I wouldn't care. But we would stay away from crowds, signs that said no dogs allowed. Oh, I know you never.
My heart is sad and lonely. For you I sigh, for you, dear, only. Why haven't you seen it? I'm all for you, body and soul.
I spend my days in a hunger and wondering why.
New York, it's a wonderful town.
Hey, fellas, what's the big rush?
We only got 24 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, we never been here before.
What can happen to you in one day? What do you think you're gonna do?
New York, a wonderful town. The Bronx is up and the Battery's down. The people ride in a hole in the ground. New York, it's a wonderful town.
Comden and Green wrote that's just a great musical and very popular. They do it all the time. And it was the first time anyone saw the amalgam of Lenny's ballet music, Jerry's dance, in a very light, frivolous musical that Comden and Green wrote. It worked really well. I loved it. I actually saw it when I was in college. I saw it 9 times because I thought I'm looking at something new that draws me, elements of which draw me to the musical theater when I've not been drawn there before.
The famous places to visit are so many, so the guidebooks say. I told my grandpa I wouldn't miss on any, and we got just one day. Got to see the whole town right from Yonkers on down to the Bay. In just one day, New York, a wonderful town. The Bronx is up and the Battery's down. The people ride in a hole in the ground. New York, it's a wonderful town.
And now we are in our favorite town, New York, and we're here with Mia's World. Welcome to my world. Welcome to Mia's World. And welcome to City World Radio Network. Welcome to Jade Zabrich, my singer, songwriter, engineer. And how are you today? And what are you doing next?
Hey, I'm awesome. I'm going to be at Sylvana in Harlem on August 14th.
Okay, Sylvana in Harlem. Jade Zabrich, fabulous singer and songwriter, guitarist, and engineer. And in the house tonight, I have a great, wonderful surprise guest, Roberto Novo and Machito Novo. Machito Novo is a French bulldog, a most adorable French bulldog with a backpack and a hat to match. And Roberto is a hairstylist, graphic novelist, and a superb person in his own right. So, Roberto, welcome to Mia's World.
Thank you very much, Mia.
And of course, it's a great duo to have. And now, as most of you know, we do a wonderful little musical medley based on who was born today, being August 6th, and events that happened around today. It's a rather beautiful night in New York City, and it's not as hot and heavy as it's been, except it is heavy because our hearts are heavy because of the events that have happened in El Paso, Texas, and Dayton, Ohio, and at the Garlic Festival in California in the last week. And it's just heartbreaking, and our hearts go out to all the victims and the victims' families. And we'll just march on and see if these things can be resolved, hopefully really soon. But our condolences to all of the families and the victims. So back to a more enlightening and upbeat issue, which is the music medley of Mia's World. And here's what you heard. So we always have my theme song, which is the intro of Moonlight in Vermont, which is the Stan Getz version of that beautiful ballad. And it's always some phase of the moon. I love the full moon, but it's sort of crescent into, it's going to be the full moon in about a week or so. So we're getting there. That was the Stan Getz version of Moonlight in Vermont. Then we heard, because Hal Prince, one of the most incredible luminaries of the Broadway and musical world, died also this past week. So we heard from the original Broadway production of West Side Story, which Hal Prince directed. We heard Dance at the Gym, an exuberant piece of music, Leonard Bernstein's West Side Story. Then, in honor of Machito Novo, we heard Elvis Presley's Hound Dog, just for Machito.
Right at home.
Hello, Machito. He's nibbling away here. And then Jean-Baptiste Lully, the French Baroque musician and the son of Jean-Baptiste Lully, born in Paris. Father was Giovanni Battista. We heard Miserere, La Chapelle Royale, with a gorgeous Baroque piece, Miserere. And then Lucille Ball, born today in 1911. So we heard the theme song from I Love Lucy, from all of our childhoods,
Yes,
including
we do.
Roberto's, in Buenos Aires.
Yes.
And the composer of I Love Lucy is Elliot Daniel. Little known name, but should be known. Then we heard from Norman Granz, was the American record producer, born in 1918 on August 6th. Jazz at the Philharmonic, that was produced by Norman Granz. In Amsterdam, 1957, that was Ella Fitzgerald and Oscar Peterson with Cole Porter's Just One of Those Things. And then a pick of my wonderful guest, Roberto Novo, who has done many celebrity haircuts, including one, Grace Jones, the amazing Grace Jones, who you're friends with, and she's a client and a friend. So that was Grace Jones singing La Vie en Rose, the most beautiful,
Masterpiece.
beautiful version, right? And then Jack Parnell, the orchestra leader, born August 6, 1923, with his orchestra playing Girl from Ipanema, the Jack Parnell Orchestra, the famous Antonio Carlos Jobim piece, Girl from Ipanema. Then Abby Lincoln, the amazing jazz vocalist, civil rights activist, songwriter. Abby Lincoln, born August 6, 1930, with Billie Holiday's Don't Explain, beautiful song. Then the Brazilian guitarist, Baden Powell de Aquino, born August 6, 1937, with the very melancholy and beautiful Tristeza. Then Charlie Hayden, the American jazz double bass player, born August 6, 1937, born in Iowa. That was Chet Baker and Charlie Hayden with the gorgeous Silence. And then another pick from Roberto, another client and friend, Christine W.
Mm-hmm.
That was Stronger.
Stronger.
That's
Yes.
a gorgeous song.
A beautiful, beautiful piece.
Yes. Then Tom Scherpenzeel, a Dutch rock keyboardist from Kayak, born in the Netherlands. He was born August 6, 1952. That was Heart of the Universe. And Faith Prince, the Broadway actress from Guys and Dolls and Bells Are Ringing. She was born August 6, 1957. That was I'm Going Back. Bells Are Ringing. Talking about brassieres in that piece. And then Jerry Horner Halliwell, the British pop singer Ginger from Spice Girls with Stop. She was born August 6, 1972. Followed by the hip-hop artist Travie McCoy, born in 1981. And then in honor of Machito again, Harry Nilsson's famous and charming The Puppy Song. And then in honor of Tony Bennett, who turned 93 on August 3rd.
Wow.
Body and Soul, the great Johnny Green, Ed Heyman, Robert Sauer, and Frank Aiton tune. Body and Soul, Tony Bennett. Bless your soul. Bless your body and soul. And then we heard Hal Prince. We heard from the Broadway production, the 1944 Broadway production of On the Town, which again Hal Prince directed. Leonard Bernstein wrote the music, Comden and Green the lyrics, and that was Hal Prince talking about On the Town. And then we heard some little excerpts from the exuberant, incredible On the Town. And we heard from the film version with Gene Kelly and Frank Sinatra, New York, New York. Okay, so a couple of announcements before we talk to Roberto Novo and Machito Novo. A couple of more August 6th birthdays. Alfred Lord Tennyson, the British poet laureate of Great Britain, born in 1809. The Scottish bacteriologist who invented penicillin. Thank goodness for that. Born in 1881.
We won't be here right now.
Yeah, really. I had root canal and I had some amoxicillin this week. Thank you, Alexander Fleming. American sociologist Scott Nearing, born in 1883. American actor Robert Mitchum, 1917. The great DJ, yay for radio DJs, William B. Williams, WNEW fame, 1923. American pop artist Andy Warhol, 1928. Director-actor from Eating Raoul, Paul Bartel, 1938. The actor from The Bob Newhart Show, Peter Bonners, 1938. Lyle Berman, I had to have Berman in there because that's my namesake, Mia Berman. Lyle Berman, American poker player, born in 1941. M. Night Shyamalan, the Indian-American film director, 1970. The American actress Vera Farmiga, 1973. Actress from Punky Brewster, Soleil Moon Frye, 1976. And the little beauty queen who was murdered in 1996, John Benet Ramsey. Couple of events in history on August 6th. 1945, the atomic bomb was dropped on Hiroshima. 1926, American gold medalist swimmer Gertrude Trudy Ederle became the first woman to swim the English Channel from France to Dover, England in 14 hours and 39 minutes.
Wow.
I know, amazing, right? Hard to imagine. Due to the extreme cold water, she had covered her body in lard and petroleum jelly to insulate her from the cold waters of the channel. Can you imagine, Roberto?
Yes, I can imagine.
And in 1935, USA Cryogenics in Hollywood, Dr. Ralph Willard, a doctor who came from the state of Georgia in Russia, successfully froze a monkey named Jikal and brought it back to life. That's interesting, considering we're going to be talking about cloning Machito. This is cryogenics, not the same thing. President Lyndon Johnson in 1965 signed the Voting Rights Act, guaranteeing African Americans the right to vote and making it illegal to impose restrictions on federal, state, and local elections designed to disenfranchise black voters. In 1965, the Beatles released the soundtrack album Help in the UK from the film of the same name. In 1971, Che Blythe docked his yacht British Steel at the Hamble in Hampshire on the south coast after a voyage of 292 days and became the first man to sail around the world non-stop in the wrong direction, east to west, against the prevailing winds and currents. And in 2012, NASA successfully landed the Mars Curiosity rover on Mars. Today's fun holidays, it's Root Beer Float Day. We should be having a root beer float now. It's Wiggle Your Toes Day. Machito, wiggle your toes. It's National Gossip Day. It's National Night Out Day. And it's Farm Worker Appreciation Day. And now for the Mia's World does this every week for the last 7 years. We rhyme the news to make it sparkle. So you can follow along if you'd like, Roberto. And you, wait, I posted that says that pink one. Okay, so here we go. No one ever had to convince the genius of Harold Prince. Broadway seems dimmer. We've lost a bit of glimmer. It won't be the same ever since. Director with nobility, compassion and gentility, West Side Story renown, and On the Town will live on with Prince durability. The Democratic debates sure didn't seal the fates. No boy or girl wonder that stole the thunder in these United States. Every argument had a crack, nothing smooth, just a sneak attack. On Father Joe Biden, all it did was widen the gaps, and no one bounced back. Cory Booker talked about dipping in Kool-Aid and ended up ripping the juice out of Joe. So what do you know? I think the Dem polls may be slipping. Kirsten Gillibrand took an awkward stand against white women who voted for Trump and noted she'd teach them all firsthand. About white privilege, yes, which she has, she must confess. Tulsi Gabbard took a stab at Kamala, all grabbing at straws, one big fat mess. Joe Biden rounded the bend, more assertive, but at the end, couldn't get it right. His own website, no saving grace or godsend. News about Kevin Spacey, accused of stuff quite racy. Though charges were dropped, his acting life stopped, now doing an about-facey. He just appeared in Rome, reading a profound poem about falling from grace. Is he saving face with his artistic chromosome? He stood next to a statue, the boxer. Was this his magic detoxer? The bronze boxer at rest seemed wounded at best, but Spacey may be the outfoxer. Top staffers for AOC are leaving with controversy. Chief of Staff Chakrabarty divides up the party, stirring rift, that's no gift, all agree. Bankruptcy's rocking the boat as Barney's tried staying afloat. There's no confusion, it needs cash infusion. Do I hear a Wells Fargo bank note? It's National Gossip Day, so whisper those secrets away. Ariana admits she's a train wreck, the pits. Now where is my Chardonnay?
Wow.
And
Excellent.
that's our
Excellent.
Thank you so much, Roberto. Gracias. Merci bien, monsieur.
Je vous en prie.
And now, Roberto Novo, whom I met in this charming, we live in the West Village, Roberto and I, and there's this amazing Hudson River Park that stretches now quite a ways, downtown, uptown, and there's some little nooks and crannies where people can go to.
And you can find the best waffles in town.
Yeah,
with
waffles.
dulce de leche from Argentina.
Oh, it's the best. It sounds even better in Spanish, the
They
dulce
are.
de leche, right? But the
Yes.
waffles. Oh,
Waffles.
and Alex at the little booth there. And
Yes.
I had gingerbread ice cream the other day. Oh, we won't
Yeah.
even talk.
Excellent.
But I met Roberto and Machito there, and in one of those little nooks at the cafe, and it was just charming to meet you, Roberto and
Thank you.
Machito. I know that you came to New York from Buenos Aires. When? When did you come here?
I came in 1987.
So,
yeah. But I come from Paris. I live in Paris for 7 years. Before
so you
New
went
York.
from Buenos Aires to Paris?
To Buenos Aires to Barcelona.
Oh, the map is getting more complicated. Okay.
To Barcelona to Paris, and then Paris to Japan. I live in Japan, and then from Japan to
you're
New
only
York.
25. How could you have done all this?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Wait a minute. So did you go to Paris for hairstyling and haircut?
Well, I went to Paris because I cannot take the attitude of the Catalan in Spain. And I said, if I want to sacrifice my family, my friends, and my country, I will start brand new with a new culture, new language, and that's why I decided to move to Paris. And what better in my business? What better to Paris? La beauté,
La
beauté,
fashion, hair, but
everything.
Hair is your thing, right?
Yes.
Pretty much.
So I work with an amazing. I started in Argentina. I work in Argentina for TV with Graciela Borges. She's like a Catherine Deneuve or Meryl Streep of Argentina. And then I went to get some new training class with Peter Gage and different stylists and friends.
Oh my gosh! And then from Paris
to Japan. Japan. Yeah, I was working for Wella, teaching people. I work in Kyoto, Nagoya, Kobe, Shinjuku, and it was a great experience. Too much work. Too much work.
But it's here too. I mean, it's work.
Yeah, but we enjoy life here.
You think so?
Oh yes, we do.
Not like the Italians and the Europeans and they seem to really.
Yeah, but you don't get nowhere. That's the problem. I live in Paris for 7 years, and I live in Barcelona for 1 year, and you work, and that's it. You can travel because it's so close to travel from Germany to France to England to Spain or Portugal, but that's it. And here we can enjoy life.
Well, we certainly do at the
Yeah.
Hudson River, and Machito seems to love the river.
He
hear
loved the
about-
river.
So let's hear about Machito. So how did you find each other?
Well, my life was very busy working with Christian W., Grace Jones. I worked with Calvin Klein for 15 years, so I
Calvin
was
Klein.
traveling all over the country, you know what I mean, and overseas. So for me, it was no time for dogs. But God have a different plan for me when I decided to buy a coffee for my doorman.
And you lived on Christopher Street.
And Christopher Street, where my store was.
So your
And
salon was on Christopher
my salon
Street.
was in Christopher Street. And I went to buy a coffee for my doorman, and the
You
owner...
went to buy a coffee for your doorman.
doorman.
This is important because
Yes.
when we were talking about this, when somebody says, "Oh, could you just get me a cup of coffee?" A lot of people say, "I don't want to be bothered." You know, they don't want to detract
to
from
get out
their-
of the way.
Right.
You know, it's like, oh, one
But-
second. But you know, I went. Richard was a great doorman, and the way to get the coffee, my neighbor David, who owned City Pub, stopped me, and we started to talk about situations in Brazil. And I said, by the way, what kind of dog was in the window yesterday? Because he was making a show for everybody. It was a beagle. I said, people will take pictures, and all of the signs say, oh, that's nothing. You should see the French Bulldog is in the basement. And I say to David, why he's in the basement if he's so special? Well, somebody bought him on Wednesday. Another guy saw how beautiful he was and put a deposit. The first guy returned Machito because he developed an allergic reaction.
Couldn't
He
breathe.
cannot breathe. So the poor Machito was, why they don't love me? You know, can you imagine his head? He was traumatized there. But somebody else supposed to pick me up. Let me come inside. I show it to you. No, I have to get a coffee for my doorman. He brought Machito, and the rest is history.
What happened to the coffee?
even the police got involved.
Really?
Oh yes, I have a whole graphic novel about it.
Yes, you're writing a graphic
A
novel.
graphic novel
about
who is
Machito.
140 pages. It's about his life interacted with mine, and sometimes you have to realize and pay attention about what the dog wanted. And every day, Machito will show me a way to turn my way and find another direction to tell me something.
Really?
And I was listening to him.
intuitively?
Oh yeah, to go to places, to walk through places, to a street. He saved me one night it was a stop in Christopher Street, and he won't walk straight up. He want to go around the corner, and I followed him. Then I realized there was a fight in Christopher
Really?
Street. Somebody got hurt.
Really?
Yeah.
Dogs really
Yeah.
have
Now
that?
this guy is the son I never have. It's very special. I have 3 Frenchies, and the other ones are dogs, amazing dogs. This one is the kid I never have, and that's the reason, it's my muse, my inspiration to write this graphic novel. And that's one of the reasons today I got the news that he's in the process to be cloning. Because 10 years is enough in my life. I need for 10 more. So that's
How old
another.
is Machito now?
Machito's going to turn 13.
13?
13.
Really?
Yeah, he turned 13 in a couple of weeks. So we're going to have a little birthday party. I will invite you. You can come over. Yeah, Machito is you have to spend time with him. That's the reason I decided to bring it, like that you can interact with him. And you saw how he was at the restaurant.
We were just in a little restaurant downstairs in the lobby at Suspenders, and he's so chill.
Calm. He interacted with people. He would look at people, and you know what I mean, and be part of the situation. You know what I mean. He adapted. One time we are in Far Island, there was a round table with people, and he just said, listen to everybody's conversation, and people say, is that dog for real? He paying attention what we discuss and look at somebody and look at the other person. You have to spend time with him to realize, and that's the reason he got a graphic novel, and he's in the process to be cloned.
So at what point did you realize, oh, eureka, I must write
From the
this
first
graphic
moment.
novel?
From the first moment that I met Machito, I say, who are you? I swear to God and my mother. I look at Machito and say, who are you? You're not a dog. It's somebody in there, and I can see through your eyes that you want to tell me, but you cannot speak. But I want to get in your brain, and I did, and I look in his eye when he want to tell me something, and it's magical. And that book is a lot of magic in the book, and I wish Disney can pay attention to the book because they can be a huge box office.
Yeah, yeah.
It's already magical. I can imagine if Disney get the hands on there and put their magic, they can be a masterpiece.
Amazing.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of love, adventures. Machito is about friendship, you know what I mean, and love.
True love,
and
true friendship.
help another dog, because Machito, along the way, he finds 4 dogs. When he's looking for his wife, who disappeared, Machito along the way found these 4 dogs who's been abused by the owner. But they've been abused by the owner with the stupid haircuts. They're traumatizer. The male,
That's ironic since you're a haircutter.
but that's the
right?
thing,
Right?
you know what I mean? And they're male, but then being traumatized by the owner. And Machito say, hey, come to my dad salons. We can make a makeover and feel good about yourself, and you can help me to find Matilda. And Machito bring the 4 dogs to the salon to do a makeover, and they all feel comfortable. And I apply my 4 clients to the 4 dogs. One is Calvin Klein, Grace Jones, Christine W., and the work that I did for Britney Spears, and It's Late for You when she did MTV Music Award.
Right.
I did all that work. So I apply, it's a kind of reality with fiction.
Yeah.
I apply my clients' look and Machito's friends. And they always this moha and with the spiky hair and dreadlocks, they all together go and helping to find Matilda.
Now, let's talk about Matilda a little bit.
Mhm.
Since I have my Matilda bag with me.
Yes.
And I love
Matilda
the
is a Frenchy, crazy, full of energy, you know what I mean? Who she's always wandering the street.
One of your other, one of the 3 dogs.
Yeah. When she's always wandering the street in my salon. And that's the reason when Machito, when he was a puppy, I go back to that to explain where the idea of Matilda disappeared. When Machito was a puppy, everybody will come over from all over to take pictures. So I say to myself, I'm going to do something more important. I put a little sign. My name is Machito Novo. For every picture that you take it, you can make a small donation. By the end of the week, I will send the check to ASPCA for all the puppies that are not lucky as I am. So far, we sent more than $2,000 to ASPCA. And because of that, one day somebody who worked for National Geographic passed by and saw that, and they put the whole family in the show. It's called We Move Animals.
We Move Animals.
Yeah, there was aired like 4 or 5 years ago. And the idea of Matilda disappear is when these 2 kids see National Geographic, and I comment the Matilda like a chase mice. There's 2 kids in Chinatown who the parents have an epidemic of mice in the basement, and the city is ready to close them down. So they decided to kidnap Matilda and put in the basement to clean the mice.
Really?
Yeah.
Did that work?
Well, I wrote that. That's my
Oh,
imagination.
okay.
No, but they're good to chase mice.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the reason this kid decided to kidnap Matilda. And when Matilda's along the city, they look for another Frenchies, and they put it all in the basement to clean. And the parents, the business, they don't get shut down.
Right.
It's kind of like you threw a good message. They're
Of
doing
course,
something,
of course.
and then
Well, when you were doing, you're still cutting hair?
Yes.
Which
Still
is
doing my
fine.
private clients, you know
Right.
what I mean, and things like that.
Because you do a lot of charity work.
I do,
and
yeah.
You had a wig program for the American Cancer
Uh-huh,
Society.
yeah.
You donated human hair wigs to chemotherapy
Yeah,
patients.
because the insurance doesn't cover the wigs, and some people overcharge the client, the patient. They already women get traumatized to go through a moment. I think so. Some women they get more traumatized, not about the cancer, sino to lose their hair.
I know that's a traumatic
So
thing.
when you find something natural, they feel comfortable, the face it brighten up, you know what I mean? And
turns their whole
and so I
spirit.
find a place I can buy wigs for cheap, and I
Donate it.
donate it. You know what I mean?
Yes, and are you doing that still?
Yeah, I did that
Yeah.
2 weeks ago. You know what I mean? For a
Fantastic.
client, you know what I mean, who somebody recommended, and
Yeah,
I find a
because-
wig.
And you donate.
Yeah.
Because you also, St. Vincent's Hospital is not exist
Yeah,
anymore.
there's more.
But I
Yeah,
know you
yeah.
did-
I donated my time for a patient in
Patients there.
1989. The floor 11 HIV patient who's been there for months. I will go every Sunday and cut people's hair. You know what I mean? The nurse would call me, and it was very tough. I lost a lot of friends along the way, and
now we
sometimes you
lost
have
St.
to.
Vincent's, of
And now we
course.
lost St. Vincent. You know what I mean? Such a
Terrible loss.
but
loss. But
money
there's plenty of-
talk.
I'm sorry, Manitoc.
Manitoc.
But then,
You know,
of
that's
course,
too
there's many
bad.
other hospitals. That
Yeah,
not
yeah.
our
But
village
yeah, the
hospital.
San Benito was, you know what I mean, is
Such
so
a-
much
such a-
history in there too.
Oh.
You know what I mean, and
Yes, I know. I know.
from the survivor from the Titanic, you know, we all end in San Vincent Hospital.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And it was such a historic place.
Historic place, you know, in a hospital. Everybody need a hospital, and
I
now
know.
we have to go downtown or all the way on to the Upper East Side.
I know.
The time you get there, you're dead.
Absolutely true. I actually fainted and I had to go all the way across town. And
Yeah.
What's this?
The story is money talk. We are in the
right?
city like,
Now,
you know, corporations.
yes, I know.
We hate it and we need them at the same time.
Exactly.
You know.
Now, how did you meet like a lot of the celebrities like Drew Barrymore and Snoop Dogg? They've met Machito. Just
Well,
from walking
all
around?
these people told me to take a picture with Machito. That is the power for he have his image.
Yeah.
Like Snoop Dogg was very, very funny. He was having lunch with his wife and his 2 kids in Cafe Riviere.
Which also doesn't exist.
It doesn't
anymore.
exist anymore, I know, and I was very disappointed about that. So, and it was funny because he, somebody asked to take a picture with him, and he said, sorry, I'm here with my family. And he just to get up to have a cigarette. I passed by with my dog. Hey, you with a Frenchie, can I take a picture? And I almost said to him, sorry, I'm here with my family. It was very funny. But I say, no, I don't want to say that to Snoop. So I say, yeah, of course. And we carry on a conversation because this is one of his favorite dogs, French Bulldog. And, you know, and John Galliano and Katie Kerr. Katie Kerr, you know what I mean? I was walking with Machito. Hey, you with a Frenchie. Love him. Can I take a picture? And, you know, it's Alice Baldwin, you know what I mean? Mac Damon, you know what I mean? It's like so many celebrities. They will never stop for nobody.
Right.
And, but that's the magic of this dog have. You know what I mean? It's, like I say, you spend time with him and you realize my family comes from Argentina. And I say, wow, now they spend time with Machito inside the apartment, not in a house. Because in a house, the dog's running outside, you know what I mean? You don't interact the same way when you live in an apartment.
Right.
And I said, wow, Machito is everything that you always comment about it. And sometimes I don't want to comment too much because people will look at me like a crazy lady. You know that crazy lady with the cats? You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's me, the crazy guy with
With the dog.
the Frenchies. So I let the people find out by themselves, you know what I mean, the magic of the dog.
How about your mom? What's her name?
Elvira Novo.
Elvira.
Elvira.
Hi, Elvira. She's listening. She's
Uh-huh.
in Buenos Aires.
Yes, yes.
Does she love Machito?
Oh, she loved Machito. You know, Machito was in Buenos Aires. You know, she was here 2 times, and I taken Machito to Buenos Aires 2 years ago, and to meet my family. It was that important for my family
like
too.
introducing you
Oh
to your
yes, my
partner.
little son. Yeah. No. It is.
Well,
It is.
It's a spiritual being, and that's part of your family.
It is. It is
It's
a
part
family.
of your life.
You know what I
It's
mean?
a
It's,
vital-
yeah, it is like I say, it's the kid I never have. You know, God bless me. You know what I mean? With that dog.
I know.
It's a blessing. It's a blessing to, you know, the companion. Sometimes people say, oh, let's go out. I don't feel to go out. I want
wanna
to
hang
lay
with
down
your
in bed
dog.
with Machito hugging him. It's like, and people look at me as a dog. You don't understand.
No,
You don't
no,
understand.
I do, and I
Yeah.
don't have one. But
Yeah,
I've always
people
wanted
sometimes
one.
you have to have a dog to have that special connection. Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the cloning.
Well, the cloning since
Did you
Ma-
always want to do that?
well, no, Machito. Since I know I will lose him one time,
Hard to
I
contemplate.
find a place to mummify him. You know, to mummify
Yes.
to what is called a taxidermy.
Taxidermy.
And that was 4 years ago. I still gonna do that to him because I want to do a pillow the way
Pillow.
Machito lay down like now. I want to do a pillow to donate it for kids in the hospital. Like the people kids love to have a dog, and
Yes.
sometimes they cannot have a dog because different situation. But if you give you a dog, you know what I mean, like a peluche dog, you know what I mean.
Yes.
So I want to do that with Machito, the way he's sleeping, like a little pillow for kid.
Right.
Machito's pillow, I'm going to call it, and donate it for
Machito's
them.
pillow, that's sweet.
So, and then the cloning is, you know, I come from Argentina, and Argentina is the biggest place for cloning
Really?
horses. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. We call them polo horses.
Oh. Oh, polo.
Polo, yeah, it's
Because
huge.
some of them are so special.
So special, you know what I mean? And it's my blood. So one day I decided, you know what? I'm gonna really clone Machito, and people start to like, really? Why you don't use the money for something else? I did use the money for something else. When I started to make money, I bought my mother home, I bought my sister home. I have 3 godsons. I bought each a home. Today, this is for me.
Right.
Today, I want to make something that make me happy. And sometimes people buy a car, a luxury car.
Yeah.
I buy my dog's cloning because it's going to give me affection. You know what I mean?
I do.
So, and like I say, you know what I mean? Machito is going to be 13 years old. 13 years is no time enough in my life.
What is each dog year is about 7?
Yeah.
That's
So he's
7.
91 years old right now.
Right.
So
younger than Tony Bennett.
yeah. So that's the reason I would like 13 years not long enough. At least I need him for 13 more.
Oh.
So that's one of the reasons I cloned him. You know.
And how old is Matilda?
Matilda, 12 years old.
So they're close.
Yeah,
in age,
yeah.
Matilda, what's the full name? Matilda
Tulula. Yeah.
So cute.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a dog's world, you know. I mean, there's so many dogs in the village. Is Machito very into playing with other dogs, or is he more into...
Machito have a Napoleon complex. Machito's ignore small dogs, but as soon as he see a big dog, he go and like, come on, playing with me, and he put his chest like that, and he start to like, come on, playing, and they look at him like... looking down like, what is wrong with you? And he just love to play with Grand Dame, you know what I mean?
Wow,
and
the Great
huge,
Danes.
Yeah. Big dog, he's like another kid. It's amazing. And when he sees a small dog, like whatever.
And does he like children?
Love children.
Really?
He thinks it's another, you know, every time before I close my salon, I have my client brought the kids to the salon and they pull out of the carry-on. And Machito will jump and the carry-on to like, he feel like it's a kid on him.
Aww.
I tell you, it's like, you see the way he...
I know, he's just
very he's sitting there, you know what I mean? It's like,
very
like a little kid, you know what I mean? Like...
Yeah, I mean, he's very calm with a lot of noise and people and
New
York streets. When I first came in to meet you, he was right near the park bench with you, just hanging out.
You should have seen him in the first class in American Airlines,
oh.
eating salmon from my place. The people from across the road look at me like, is that dog in first class eating salmon? Yes, it is. And the flight attendant said, Machito, can I get something else? And he would
a
like
pillow,
wave on
please.
the tail that he doesn't have and make everybody laugh on the plane. It was the cutest thing, you know what I mean? Like.
Oh, what about when you're hair cutting or styling hair? Does he?
He's by my side.
Yeah.
He's by my side, like, you know, watching me, and he want to feel close to me. You know. Yeah.
Such an amazing connection. And so, where can people read about you on a website or?
They can go on the Machito Novo on Instagram. That's what I'm trying to build that, because right now we have a ABC News. They come over to my house to do a little interview, and they follow me through Machito's journey for one day, and take a little walk on the river when we met, and then they walk with me to the post office to mail in the contract to Biogen. Biogen is a company who does the cloning, the same company that Barbara Streisand used for his dogs, for her dogs. Yeah.
Right. Oh my gosh.
So, and I believe that will be air. What are the very interesting to see how Machito interacted with Machito the First. In 4 months, Machito the First will be born.
Oh, in 4 months?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. In 4 months, Machito will be born. And I think so. I hope so Machito is going to be alive. You know, he's 91 years old. You don't know what's going to happen.
He'll be here.
So they want to videotape it.
He has to be here for another autumn in New York.
Well,
right?
Yes.
Does he have a favorite season?
The fall. He doesn't like the heat.
Yeah,
you know, they have a problem to breathe. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's too close to the cement.
Yeah.
You know, we breathe over here.
And they're
they
down there.
breathe down there. So they get all that.
So where will
You know.
where will Machito be born?
Right now, the first company is Perpetuate in Massachusetts, where we remove the DNA from his back, and we send it to the lab to be reviled, and then from then they send it to Houston, Texas, to the lab, where right now, I believe it's today, it starts to the process of to the surrogate mom.
Wow.
Or the surrogate dog.
Today?
Yes.
Wow.
So
It's pretty exciting.
It's very
Machito.
excited, and it's gonna freak me out when I see Machito as a baby because he was so special.
Ah, yeah.
Not only the cutest, his personality, and I'm very curious. Like a lot of
see.
people say, well, they don't have the same personality.
They don't?
But it's a twin.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So twins sometimes they can have
can
the
be
same
very different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but very different or very identical.
Right.
So that's what I'm very curious to see where we are with Machito, and that's what ABC is very interesting to videotape the encounter.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
Yes. That should be quite intriguing.
yeah. Let's see what happens.
Oh my God. Well, Roberto Novo and Machito Novo, it's been quite an entrancing experience to have you both on Mia's
Well, thank you
World
very much.
and City World Radio Network. Thank you so much for being here. We look forward to many years ahead with Machito and Machito and Machito and Roberto, Matilda.
And Matilda to Lula, you know what I mean?
And of course, they're M names, so of course I love it even more.
Of course, yeah,
Mia,
Mia,
Matilda, Machito.
And if you want to follow Machito again, it's going to be in the Machito Novo
Perfect.
on Instagram or the Adventures of Machito Novo on Facebook.
Thank
you very
so
much.
much, both of you. And we're going to end the show with another piece from West Side Story, the original Broadway production directed by Hal Prince. Still pertinent today in light of the recent shootings in Texas and Ohio. Someday, somewhere, we'll find a new way of living. We'll find a time for forgiving somewhere. Here is Leonard Bernstein's Somewhere from West Side Story, directed by Hal Prince. And thank you for listening to Mia's World. Have a tranquil evening.
This is my favorite song, right?
A place for us, somewhere a place for us, peace and quiet and open air, wait for us somewhere. Somewhere we'll find a new way of living. We'll find a way of There's a place for us, a time and place for us. Hold my hand and we're halfway there. Hold my hand and I'll take you there. Somehow, someday.
When it comes to providing guide dogs for people who are blind or visually impaired, one national organization is taking the lead. The Guide Dog Foundation breeds and trains Labradors and Golden Retrievers to help blind and visually impaired people increase their mobility and independence. The foundation provides transportation to its New York campus, the guide dog, a comprehensive training program, and a life